What's up, my Central Unit? It's the Central Man here. So this is a review of this week's AEW Dynamite. It's been ages since I did an AEW Dynamite review. Yeah, it was the two Fighter Fest parts of Dynamite. Because originally it was supposed to be a pay-per-view because of the COVID. They changed it into really two episodes of Dynamite's version of Fighter Fest. Anyway, so it's been ages since I did a normal episode review of Dynamite. This is the first Dynamite after All Out 2020. Um, Here's a funny story. I did this about minutes ago, and all of a sudden, you can't hear me. You can't hear me because of the I had a problem with the audio issue. So the audio issue is kind of fixed, and also the original one I put it on private. So this time you can hear me speak anyway. So this week's Dynamite kicked off with Jericho and MGF. They were driving at the same time, not really together, but like driving like two different black cars. They kind of like give them each other compliments that you should be you should be the future AEW World Champion. Because about something about like Jericho said about you got cheered in the AEW World Title match against Moxley All Out, and also I think MGF called Orange Cassidy a ginger prick. So basically they give him compliments, and then there was a funny part. There was a black line on the screen, cutting both ways, and then they both at the same time say "What a loser." So I kind of like intrigue of this good opening segment. Anyway, so the first match to kick off this week's Dynamite, we got the Jurassic Express versus the Lucha Brothers. The Jurassic Express, that is Jungle Boy Jack Perry and the Luchasaurus taking on the Lucha Brothers, that is Pentagon Jr. I think he's now called Penta L Zero, and Ray Phoenix, but I call him Pentagon Jr. This was a good opener, good match. I think it was Jungle Boy basically kicked out of the Spike Power Driver by the Lucha Brothers. In the end, I think it was Pentagon accidentally hit Ray Phoenix. He was going for Jungle Boy, but he actually hit I think it was a Canadian Destroyer or Code Red. It's because both moves are similar. So basically, I call it the Canadian Destroyer. Actually, I call it the Mexican Destroyer because they're not from Canada; they're from Mexico. Yeah, Pentagon accidentally hit Ray Phoenix. Jungle Boy rolled up Ray Phoenix for the victory for the Jurassic Express, and then both Pentagon and Phoenix fight, and then you got like the Butcher, the Blade, and Eddie Kingston trying to separate both Pentagon and Ray Phoenix apart. Basically, at the same time, Eddie Kingston cut a promo and trying to be the peacemaker. And I think that at the same time, he kind of really took shot at the Blade, hit him under the waist, said about "Where's your wife?" referring to Ali. Ali, the Blade is formerly known as Braxton Sutter from TNA, and Ali used to be the bunny, the valet for the Butcher and the Blade, and now she's now part of the Rhodes family. What was it called? The National Nightmares with I think it was Goldust and QT Marshall. So, but and also at the same time trying to be on the same page, trying to make Pentagon and Ray Phoenix shake hands, make up. They did, and also he kind of brags about the battle royal from at All Out, and Eddie brags about like he's never got eliminated in that battle royal. So I don't know what this situation in this group between Kingston, the Lucha Brothers, and the Butcher and the Blade. Is it going to be a faction? There's no name of the faction yet. I think it's going to be a faction. Eddie's going to be the leader, and basically like Butcher, Blade, Pentagon, and Phoenix are basically going to be his followers. So who knows? Anyway, so the next promo segment we had Matt Hardy. Came off after that scary fall he took at All Out in the Broken Rules match, and he speak about talking about the Broken Rules match. And also he was apologizing and thanking his fans for his support because that was a scary spot. I did all out review on it last week. Check it out. So anyway, so he said that he never wanted that, the Broken Rules match, and also they will cut into Rebby with their newborn son. It's good to see Rebby in a major wrestling promotion. It's been ages. I think the last time she appeared was in WWE. She was part of the deletion match between Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt from 2018, and also she appeared in like this. They did this Halloween special in 2018 with Matt Hardy. I think he had brother Nero, Senior Benjamin. That was, you can find it on YouTube. I think it was on YouTube. I don't think it's on the network. Anyway, it's good to see Rebby on a major wrestling promotion. I don't think she's going to show up in any type of wrestling capacity because she's a mother now, because she's got like the newborn son. They got Maxwell, maybe, but it's good. It's good to see Rebby. I'm trying to say. Anyway, so he said about he's 100% recovered, and he had goals to become, winning matches and becoming the AEW World Champion. So it's been ages since Matt Hardy won a world title. That was way back in TNA 4 years ago, going on 5 years. Let's be honest. I don't think Matt Hardy winning a world title. I don't think he's gonna win a world title anytime soon. Maybe in the near future. So it's, it might be, like I said, they should have ended this match, the Broken Rules match, earlier, because Andre Edwards, the female referee, did the X, because that was a scary spot. And also, there's rumors like, yeah, he said about he's gonna have 100% recovery. To about, oh, Matt Hardy has the concussion, and so, I don't want to get into it. So yeah, it's just like it's one of the scariest spots. Yeah, I know, like, you can hurt. No one wants to see deaths in the fucking ring. It's just kind of brought down the show, in my opinion. With the crowd, it's not like when Owen Hart dies, but you don't want to see people dying in the ring. No matter what match stipulation is, whether it's a hardcore match or a last man standing match, or whatever. Anyway, so it's good to see Matt Hardy's alive. Hope he do well. Hope he make 100% recovery, and we'll see Matt Hardy wrestling anytime soon in the near future. Anyway, so moving on to, that was the second promo of the night. The first one was the Jericho MGF segment. Anyway, so the second match of the night, we got Orange Cassidy versus Angelicio, one half of Hybrid 2. This was nothing special. It was okay for what it is. It's just a nothing something match. In the end, Orange Cassidy hit Angelicio with the Orange Punch to score the victory, and then afterwards you got Santana and Ortiz beating down Orange Cassidy, and then you got like the best friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, came to the rescue, and then they got a promo, basically challenged Santana and Ortiz to, I think it was a parking lot brawl for next week's Dynamite, because Santana and Ortiz really damaged and vandalizing Trent's mom's car. I say fan because it's not really a fan. It's a mini fan. Basically they want revenge, and and Trent says, "Do make my mother proud." And I can't wait, like, it's kind of like a mini rivalry. This is kind of turned into a bit of a mini rivalry between Santana and Ortiz versus the best friends. And really, it's throughout the inner circle, because, like, for months now, Jericho's feuding with Orange Cassidy, and then the other parts of the inner circle is feuding with the best friends, that's Santana and Ortiz. So I can see this is going to be the payoff, doing this for Sue. Sue is, I don't know, it's Trent's real life mother or an actress, but it's really funny part. Like, you had Chuck Taylor wearing like a t-shirt with him and Trent and Sue with the minifan. I know, it's a car. You know, I know what fans are, but it looks like a. I don't want to get into. I don't want. I know what a minifan art is. Anyway, so that's for next week's episode of Dynamite. So moving on to basically another segment with Alex Maveres, that's his name, the interviewer. He's trying to interview with the Young Bucks. He's outside the Young Bucks dressing room. The Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, came out, give Maveres a double super kick, And then I think later on the show, they informed that yeah, the Young Bucks got fined $5,000 for super kicking Mavericks in the face. Okay, and then we got the that's the third segment. The fourth segment, who is the best man for Kip Sabian's and Penelope Ford's wedding? And also like Kip Sabian basically shut down Shivani. Um, Basically, I see a pattern every single time in these segments with Tony Schiavone trying to interview a heel, and the heel, whether it's a male or female, or even a tag team, shooting down Schiavone. Sorry about that. So anyway, so what I'm trying to say. Sorry, folks. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tony Schiavone. Every time I see the segments on Dynamite, the heels, whether female, male, or even a tag team, they kind of shoot down Shivani. That's what it is. Oh yeah, Saban says if I want any member of the AEW commentary team to do this, he rather picks JR. He's sort of about fun and cool, and he called Tony Timmy. I don't understand. So anyway, who is the best man for Kip and Penelope's wedding? So the first guy showing up is this fat guy called Puff. He's a fat guy with a Hawaiian T-shirt, wearing a blue shorts. Basically, for he's the best man, but he wasn't the best man for Kip and Penelope's wedding. He said about like you're the best for gaining subs, and how about do the best what you do is making space. And he basically dismissing, and also he said about you need to resub every month or next month, whatever he said. And then the second person, is Brian Pillman Jr. I said to myself, wow, it's been ages to see Brian Pillman Jr. in AEW. The last time I saw him was in that Battle Royal in the first pay per view, real on the very first pay per view of AEW that was Double or Nothing from last year. You know, and then after that, I think he did wrestle. Did he wrestle in Dark? I think he did show up in like on a Dark, but you never see him in Dynamite. This is, I'm guessing, his first appearance in AEW Dynamite. It's good to see Brian Pillman Jr. Anyway, he's going to be the best man for Kip and Penelope's wedding, but unfortunately, he want he's not. Basically, Kip says like you're the best common man, and also he said about you're annoying, you're a stalker, like you keep texting me, messaging me, and also on his birthday, I'm talking about like it was Brian Pillman's birthday, and also he said he kind of also dismissed Brian Pillman Jr. said hope you had a bad birthday. Oh no, hope your birthday sucks. And then the real best man for Kit Sabian's and Penelope Ford's wedding, we got the debuting of Miro, and that is the formerly known as Rusev. He came out wearing like he dyed his head blonde. He wear like a Mickey and Minnie Mouse T-shirt with the word Gucci on it. He got a good pop, and I think they were chanting a lot of Rusev Day chants. And he said about for 10 years I was living in a house with a glass ceiling, reaching the ladder for the brass ring, and he said about you can take your brass ring and shove it up your ass. Really took shots of the WWE. We'll get to it shortly. And then he said the reason why you picked me as the best man, you know, you I am the man. I'm the best in Twitch and wrestling. He didn't really say that because he said Kip, you didn't pick me for being a best man. I am the best man. And he said, my name's Miro. I'm all elite. So it's a good promo for Miro. Formerly known as Rusev. I think AEW, not AEW, WWE kind of really dropped the ball of Rusev over the years. Every time they try and push him, they kind of drop the ball. Like it gave him this rush, this foreign. He became this anti-foreign heel. They gave him the United States title, and then he got fed to Cena, and then the League of Nations in late 2015 and early 2016. That was that was a flop. Rusev Day, that was also it was getting over, and all of a sudden they didn't do plans for him. It's just basically every time they pushed him, they didn't capitalize on it, so they never went full throttle. So hope you do well in AEW, Miro. You know. Anyway, so and then I cut these two segments all together. There were like segment promo interview segments with Shivani interviewing Hangman Page, JR interviewing Kenny Omega, talking about their defeat to the FTR for the tag team titles at All Out. On the basically on the Hangman Page segment of the interview, basically he's kind of let himself down, beat himself up for basically he basically cast a basically sort of about the FTR should never be number one contenders for the tag team belts in the first place. Cost the Young Bucks basically should have won the Gauntlet match. You basically can't really cost the Young Bucks the chance to have a shot at the tag team titles. Yeah, that's the reason he got kicked out of the Elite. He said about basically his body's full of poison. He's basically look like he's going to cry. He's just down in the dumps. He said about like we're going to reach the ladder and regain the tag team titles. That was on the Hangman Page side. On the Kenny Omega side, this is minutes later. Basically, like on the opposite side, Kenny Omega just wants to basically want to get away from Hangman Page, to want to focus on becoming a single star. Talk about you could win for tag team belts. You can win or lose tag team belts. This is kind of planting the seeds of could be a breakup between Page and Omega. I think they could do it. I can see it down the road. The rematch between FTR and Page and Omega. I could see probably it's one or the other who's going to turn heel. I could see Page turning on Omega to join the FTR, or I could see a rivalry between the Elite and Hangman Page down the road. So yeah, the promo segments is just building up, planting the seeds of a breakup. Like Kenny, no, sorry, Page, Hangman Page wants to correct the mistakes, and Omega just wanted to just break away, wash his hands off of Hangman Page and focus become a single star in AEW. It's been ages since not Hangman Page, Omega became a single star. I think his last single feud was John Moxley last year. So Who knows? Moving on to the third match of this week's Dynamite. We got Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss taking on Jericho and Jake Hager of the Inner Circle. This is a no DQ tag team match, and this was a fun tag team match. Like I think one more of the match, basically Hager placed like a bin around the chest of Sonny Kiss. It was going for like the Hager bomb or the Vader bomb, whatever you call it, and basically Kiss kind of placed the trash can in the last minute, and he kind of hit Hager in the gut or the chest area with the trash can while trying to hit the Vader bomb or the Hager bomb. He does it in WWE. They call it the Swagger bomb. Now it's called the Hager bomb. Minutes later, basically like Jericho kind of catapults Joey Janela, and at the same time, he did like a catapult Joey Janela, and Hager puts Janela through a fucking table. In the end, Sonic is about to hit a top high flying move off the top rope, and Jericho kind of spray Sonic Kiss with a fire extinguisher, and Hager hit the Unanagi suplex onto Sonic Kiss to score the victory. And then afterwards, Jericho cut a promo and said about like you bring up like Hager and Santana and Ortiz got eliminated in the Battle Royal, and Sammy Guevara got injured in the Broken Rules match with Matt Hardy, and he said about he is. Anyway, so sorry about that. Anyway, so I'm trying to say I'm lost for words. Oh yeah, and yeah, Jericho said about he's got covered it in he smelled like rotten orange because of that Mimosa Mayhem match from All Out. Anyway, he said about him and Hago are going to challenge for the tag team belts in the near future. So anyway, so yeah, they're going for the challenge for the tag team belts. On paper sounds like a good idea. Jericho and really was not in the tag team picture. Really, yeah, 2016. AJ Styles, Y2AJ. Really a short run. As a tag team challenge for the New Day for the tag team belts in 2016, but he haven't really touched tag team gold for nearly a decade. That was him and the Big Show, Jericho Show in 2009. That's about nearly like a decade. So on paper, sounds like a good idea to see Jericho winning the tag team belts. I said I'd rather have Jericho regaining the world heavyweight title, and because it's a good win. It's a more important win for the Inner Circle in this match because yeah, they lost a lot of matches. Like all all the members of the Inner Circles lost matches. Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Santana and Ortiz, Hager. It could be a turning point. Who knows? I can see. Never say never. I can see the all members of the Inner Circle winning gold in the future. So never say never. So anyway, and then we got another segment with MGF firing his campaign staff because MGF was campaigning to becoming the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Unfortunately, kind of it's failed because he failed to win the world title against John Moxley at All Out. He fired all his basically his campaign staff. There was a blonde laughing at MGF, and he kind of digged off the blonde woman, said about you got crooked yellow teeth, and then he took shots of Wardlow, and Wardlow teased of a Wardlow face turn, and he said about and MGF said to Wardlow, if you cross with me again, your family will be back on the streets. So I don't think that's true. His family's on the streets. Probably live in a nice house. Who knows? But That'd be a good moment for AEW. Good, Wardlow turning on MGF. I think they are going to plant the seeds. I think, maybe for next year because they've been together about since late 2019. So I can see it down the road. You know, Wardlow turning on MGF for he's tired of his shit, and he also said he's got potential. There's some potential of Wardlow could be a star in the company. There's some potential. I don't know how old is he. He's young. He's probably in his late 20s, early 30s. And then we got the John Moxley promo. The Moxley promo is kind of like it was good. It was a good promo. He said about like, he said son of a he talks about his match with Lance Archer for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And by the way, their match will be at the anniversary episode of Dynamite. That'll be in October. I think it'll be the first week of October because the debut episode was on the first week of October last year. Yeah, I can't wait. And by the way, he said about son of a bitch, this thing's never. He said about like it's not gonna be easy. It's not meant to be easy. He said about you can't talk your way out. You can't campaign. You got to crawl into crawl into a tunnel of crap and reach the mountain on the other side. He said about like Archer's a monster. I see a man, and said about like something about throwing himself in the wood chipper, and he said about I'm unstoppable, basically putting himself over, and he ended it said about you don't bet against me, you know, it's just building up to Moxley's match with Lance Archer on the anniversary episode of Dynamite in October. Don't know what date. Anyway, so it's not too long. It's probably about 3-4 weeks away. Okay, and then we got the another segment inside the ring. FTR, the new tag team champions, celebrating inside the ring with a cake, with all the tag teams in the tag team division surrounded around the ring. Basically, it's about yeah we're undefeated, we're unstoppable. We took a hard way to get to the tag team belts, and also FTR was taking shots of the tag team, really the other tag teams in the tag team division. The talk shots of Daniels and Kazarian, for being old because if we fought, if we fought 20 years ago, we can beat you. So I said to myself, 20 years ago, they've been in the tag team for nearly a decade. Days in TNA, Bad Influence, Slash Fortune. What 20 years ago? Maybe 10 years ago, but 20 years ago, they never fought. They never been in the tag team for 20 years. They've been there for a decade. Anyway, and also they took shots of Billy Gunn and Austin Gunn. That's Billy Gunn's son. Basically, like he called. I think one of them called Austin Gunn a snot nosed kid, and one of them called Billy Gunn. He was in the Second Rate Hall of Fame. And also they took shots of the Jurassic Express. Said about they are basically a comedy act. They are, I think one of them called Jungle Boy cosplay Tarzan. He called the Luchasaurus a dumbass dinosaur. And the Jungle Express came to the ring. FTR trying to attack them, but instead they got thwarted. Marco Stunt really pulled a bucket of, really it was a cooler full of ice onto the back of FTR and Tully Blanchard. And also before the start of the segment, they kind of put over Page and Omega. They fought 30 minutes. It didn't bury Page and Omega because they had a good match. So anyway, and also in this segment they had cake. They had cake in the segment. It's a damn shame they never had someone throw each like a cake fight, or someone or one of the members, or like Tully or one of the members of FTR getting their face covered in cake. That'd be the waste of cake. But I think they gave the cake to the other tag team. They gave the cake around, shared the cake. So I think after this rematch between FTR and Page and Omega, I think the next feud for FTR for the tag team belts are the Jurassic Express. And then we got you got Taz on commentary. We got Ricky Sparks disguising really as Darby Allin. He said about Taz said about, oh, Darby's got muscular, he's got taller, because Darby didn't show up for this week's episode of Dynamite because of the situation, the aftermath in that battle royal when Brian Cage and Ricky Sparks put Darby Allin in a body bag. And yes, Ricky Sparks is damn funny. He said about like, oh, he said Darby, he's something about like he dislocated his little finger, his foot covered in tacks. I can't skateboard with my friends, and also he called Darby Allin reckless. If he shows up, I will kick his ass. So I like doing Ricky Sparks, man. Like my first exposure, was a segment on Raw. This was what way back in 2013 with Ryback, and then years later, in at the NWA, I watched him, his promo work in NWA Power. He's just really damn good. I can see a future star with Ricky Sparks. He's good on the mic. He's got good charisma. I can see him being the future star in the near future because um, okay, and moving on to the semi-main event, we got Gon, is it Ty Conte taking on Nyla Rose? This is similar to the previous match from earlier. That's Orange Cassidy and Angelicio. Oh, it's nothing special. You got like basically you had Conte trying to have a run with Nyla's money. She trying to lock Nyla with a armbar, but Nyla's like big and basically really turn it kind of count it with a beast bomb to score the victory. And Vicky on the fucking promo, current the promo says about dubbed themselves as the Fishes Vixens, said about like we're not going anywhere. And then they're trying to attack Taya Conti even more. And then you got Ikara Shida came out with the candlestick, trying to thwart the heels. And I'm guessing they're gonna do a rematch between Shida and Nyla for the women's title. I think that could be on the anniversary episode of Dynamite, because next week's Dynamite you got Thunder Rosa defending the NWA Women's title against Eva Lise, because I don't know why they did that. Why can't they do it on Power? I don't think they're doing Power anymore. Damn shame. Anyway, so when Shida defeated Nyla Rose for the title at Double or Nothing a few months ago, I was shocked. I was shocked because Nyla's doing well as women's champion, and I'm not saying she does bad. She does so far is put on some good matches. Good match with Penelope Ford. A good match with he had a good match with Thunder Rosa at All Out. She's also doing well. So I can see her. I can see a good rematch down the road. Yep, probably at the anniversary episode of Dynamite in October. So like I said, like with the Cassidy and Angelicio match, yeah, it was nothing special matches. Actually, I'll get to my final thoughts, and well, yeah, well, let's get to the main event. The main event, we got Brody Lee defending the TNT title against Dustin Rhodes because he, got earned a shot at the TNT title after the Rhodes family, the National Nightmares defeated the Dark Order at All Out, because why he got a shot at the TNT belt, because Dustin never pinned Brody Lee, because he pins Colt Cabana. Anyway, so the main event match was good. It was a good match. Actually, it was physical. They were fighting in the crowd. Basically, like Dustin has a run with Brody Lee's money. Like Brody Lee kicked out of basically like Dustin hit like a code red and a crossroads combo, and he kicked out Lee kicked out of the the Powell driver. You had one member of the Dark Order interfered. I think it was John. Is it John Silver? I think the ball. I don't know there's the bald head guy. I think it's John Silver. I think Alex Reynolds, one with the long dark hair. They try to one of them trying to interfere, but they got it failed. In the end, Brody Lee hit like I think it's two super kicks and a lariat clothesline to defeat Dustin Rhodes and retain the TNT belt. And then afterwards, all members of the Dark Order, that's I think that's Alex Reynolds, Stu Grayson, Evil Uno, and Colt Cabana. Grabbed, really picked up QT Marshall. He's not dead, but he's an unconscious body. And then Brody Lee kicked Dustin Rhodes in the balls. Dick kick C. If I watch a lot of Brian Sane's videos, and and they celebrate, and that was the end of the show. So anyway, so this week's Dynamite was a good show. My final rate for the show was an 8 out of 10. So a lot of good segments building up to the upcoming weeks. The anniversary episode of Dynamite. It started out good and ended good. Like I'd say on the good, you got like Jurassic Express versus Lucha Brothers. Joey Janela, Sonny Kiss versus Jericho and Hager. That was a fun match. The main event, Lee versus Rhodes. That was also a good match. A lot of good segments, like the FTR segment. With the FTR segments, Ricky Spott's promo. The planting the seeds of breakup between Page and Omega. Those interview segments. MGF firing the campaign staff. Matt Hardy's promo. That was good. And nothing in the bad. There's nothing bad on the show. The only thing in the middle, I have to put like Cassidy, Angelicio, and Ty Gunte versus Nyla Rose. With Cassidy and Angelicio, it was nothing special. It's just building up the parking lot brawl match between Best Friends and Santana and Ortiz. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this week's. Hope you enjoyed my review of AEW's Dynamite from the 9th of September 2020. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button and subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. This really later on at 5:25 p.m. I'll do my live reaction of Liverpool, the Premier League champions, taking on the new promoted Leeds United. So stay tuned for that. So this is Central Man officially signing out. Check you later.